So it's our 200th video. We're going to do a little reminiscing today, and I wonder if you can remember what our very first bourbon is that we reviewed. My good friend, Don Williams.
Not only are you going to find out what the first one is, but we're going to reveal some things today that will shock you. We reviewed the youngest bourbon in history of YouTube.
What's new at Charlie's? What's new at Charlie's? Still on Main. What's new at Charlie's?
Hi, welcome to this week's edition of What's New at Charlie's. And what's new at Charlie's is actually what's old at Charlie's this week, because my good friend Mr. Don Williams, author of the bourbonfool.com, today is our 200th video. And Don, it's hard to believe. I mean, that's 4 years, right?
If you look back at it, Charlie, the way it started and the way it's lasted, it's really kind of an incredible story.
I think so, yeah.
And we're going to give you guys a lot of background today, and it'll be some fun stories and some revelations that you probably, we still are surprised by them, and I think you will be too.
Absolutely. So let's just start out. Well, first of all, let's start how this started. How this thing started, Don.
Well,
you remember?
I remember exactly. I remember that we went down to Kentucky for one of our earliest barrel picks.
Yep.
Not the first one.
Nope.
But one of the earliest barrel picks. And on the way home, you said, "What do you think about doing some videos?"
I said, Don, I get a new bottle of bourbon about every week, and it just goes up on the shelf, and no one knows what happens to it. And I go, I opened some really good stuff, but maybe we could do a video or something. And that's all it took. And Don ran with it from there. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to let you know that the brains of this operation is sitting to my left, right? So Don is not only does the research and all the work, he also has learned to edit, has learned to shoot the videos. He's done research on YouTube. He's done all this stuff to make this video what it is today. And Don, I want to thank you for that, actually, buddy, because I don't have that ability, and that's not what I do. So.
Well, what you do is have access to thousands of dollars of bourbons and different whiskeys that, in all due honesty, they would be hard to come across just in general if you were looking for them.
We have opened some good bourbon over the time, haven't we?
We have.
Friend? Yeah,
some very unique ones and maybe a couple stinkers.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I remember one that we actually refused to put on air.
There's only one video, and we're not going to tell you. Don't comment. Don't ask. We're not getting it out there.
Right.
But there was one we just couldn't put on the air,
right.
So we did not.
But we got a lot of ground to cover, so we're going to start. And the very first one we ever reviewed, Charlie, show them what it is.
Absolutely, it was Belfour's Pecan Texas Wood Bourbon. So both the hockey fans. That had just come out at the time, and we're like, we got to do this, right? So we did the video. Don sends it away to the Belfour people. We don't hear anything from them. Fast forward about 6 months or so,
right? And
Ed Belfour shows up at Charlie's.
Yep. He says, "We saw your video."
Yeah. So hey, you're the video guy. Yeah. So and that was a pretty cool start to our story here. The Belfour was, like I said, our very first one. Still has a soft spot in our heart. Still on the shelf at Charlie's. Still a big fan of the Belfour stuff. And thank you, Eddie, for showing up at Charlie's and making our day.
Yep. And what I want you to do is I'm going to put a link after this video to our very first one, and then you can comment back to us whether you think we've made any improvements since that first one.
Be careful what you open up the
That's
door
right.
for. So one of the coolest things we talked about here is, we opened, like he said, we've opened thousands of dollars of whiskey. We've opened some really great bottles of whiskey. And when you open a unicorn of, $1,000 bottle of bourbon, it's going to be good, right? Like, it's just going to be good. But the cool thing is some of the stuff we found, right?
Yep.
So one of my favorite, one of Don's favorites, we still push at Charlie's a lot, and I'm still lucky to have a little bit of it, but when it's gone, it will be gone, was the George Dickel, and it has to be the spring 2007 edition, 13-year bottled and bond. Now, this is a $40 bottle of bourbon. We opened it with no expectations and blew both of us away. So If you watch that video, you see the look on Don's face, and I love it. And I thought I'd pour us a drink of this while we keep talking. You cool with that?
I think that's a good idea.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's an example of a bottle that was flying under the radar at the time. It was a $40 bottle. I mean, Dickel makes a lot of good stuff, but this bottle was special, and it didn't take us too long to realize that the key here was the spring of 2007 label, because we've tried some others that didn't measure up.
That don't hold up to this, but this is still as delicious as I remember it. Cheers, my friend.
And if you have not tried this bottle, you need to while there's still some around, because it's pretty rare anymore.
Oh yeah, that's 3-4 years ago that they came out with that. So it's
Right.
you don't see it on the shelves anymore. We were lucky enough to get a few, so I still have a few left. But that was one of our go-tos, one of the ones that surprised us. I mean, Don, what are you thinking that comes to your mind when I say what's a surpriser?
Well, it's really hard, and we don't want to omit anybody, but we've got to cut it down a little bit. One of the very biggest surprises to me was RD1 Amburana.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that was a great one. Yeah.
Yeah, I still was shocked by that. The RD1 people are great people, and I think they're going to continue to do some really great things. But that one really, it was a flavor bomb.
Oh yeah, for sure.
An unexpected flavor bomb. Although we were looking for it, and the green label was the one that was always missing in
Well,
liquor
that's what
stores.
that piqued our interest when we go to a store. Everything was on the shelf except for the green one, the Amburana, and we didn't know what Amburana was at the time. We opened that bottle, and it was Once again, look back at the video and watch the look on our face when we try it. So, still available at Charlie's, a great pour. We still go through a lot of it. Good stuff for sure.
Yeah. But and Charlie and I ended up going to see RD1 at their tasting room in Lexington, and they're getting ready to reopen in a new spot in Lexington. I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely, go check that out. One of the ones that comes to my mind is all the Jack Daniel's stuff, other than Old Number 7, right?
Right.
We had the triple mash, the bonded, the 10-year, the 12-year, the Sinatra, and Coy Hill.
Hills.
But man, are they like, you would not guess that they're Jack Daniels when you try. They are just fantastic drinking bourbons. The Sinatra is still one of my favorites to this day. Love it.
The interesting thing is I spent an awful lot of years on Old Number 7, my pre-bourbon days, and literally I was hesitant to actually sample some Jack Daniels, and what they've done with some of those different expressions are pretty remarkable bottles.
Yeah. So I remember the first time someone said, well, you want to pick up one of these Jack Daniels, it's $100 plus for Jack Daniels. I said, there's no way I need $100 Jack Daniels. But Trust me, you all need $100 Jack Daniels because it's amazing. It is one of my favorite pours to this day. So love that.
We've done a lot of Jack Daniels videos, and literally we have a Jack Daniels playlist on the YouTube channel, so you can actually go and just watch all the Jack Daniels videos over again and see how we rated each one.
Absolutely. Yep. They've been one of our top people. I think our number one was Bardstown, right?
Oh, Bardstown, we've done more videos for Bardstown than anybody else, and part of it is their innovation.
Right. They have something different. We're coming out with something every couple months. So they slowed down a little bit, and so have we, but we like the companies that are doing new things, the RD1s, the Bardstowns, the Whistle Pigs,
here's
Yellowstones.
Yellowstones, and here's another one. Here's another surprise that came out of nowhere was Green River.
Oh, yeah.
And I visited Green River before it was just shortly after they were changing from OZ Tyler. They were changing the name change. And I went there, and basically they let me sample some things that weren't on the market yet. And I go, Charlie, wait till you taste this stuff, because it's pretty incredible. And for an affordable brand, they have some really good bottles. And Carolyn Wells, their national brand ambassador, came to Charlie's.
Absolutely, yep. She was there. We've had a few people that have shown up because of our videos. And probably one of our favorite stories is I wake up one morning and I've got a Facebook message, which I barely even know how to work. So I didn't know if it was real or fake. It was the Horse Soldier people, had seen our video, said they were in town, would love to come meet us. If you're not familiar with the Horse Soldier story, we're going to keep this short so you can look it up, but they're American heroes. They have their own bourbon. They're they're building a distillery now out of Tennessee or Kentucky.
No, Southern Kentucky.
Southern Kentucky, yeah, down on the Cumberland River. And the commander of the horse soldiers, Mark Noosh, just said we want to stop and see him, and showed up at Charlie's one afternoon from watching these videos. So that was a very special day for us at Charlie's.
My favorite part about that is he came up to me and he said, "Got most of our story spot on."
There you go. Yeah, that's all you could ask for, huh? Yeah,
Yep.
Right. And then who else has showed up at our place because of the videos?
Well, just recently, we're going to jump ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
We had Trey Zoller.
Trey Zoller from Jefferson was there. We've had Ian from MGP. We've had the Steve Beam and Steve Fonte from Yellowstone.
That's
Another
right.
one of our favorite things to review, right?
And don't forget, the ultimate visit, Freddie Johnson.
Freddie Johnson showed up at Charlie's. Yeah, absolutely. So these videos have been a lot of fun for us. And they've been, hopefully they've been fun for you guys. Hope they've been a little educational. Give you some idea of, some of these bourbons you get to try or taste, or come to Charlie's and see if you want to give it a sample. But we've really enjoyed it. We've had a great time doing this. At least I have.
Well, one of the things that
He keeps coming back, so I'm assuming he's enjoying it too.
you keep making great food. It
Yeah.
just happens. One of the things I would like you all to do is please take a minute and comment below on what you've liked, what you haven't liked, or if you have some questions, because did you know that in our 200 videos, we reviewed the youngest bourbon ever? And I'm not going to tell you which one it is. And so you have to do your homework and go back and comment if you found out and figured out which one it was.
So yeah, let us know on that one. So as far as videos, what's been some of our top videos? I know the Caribou Crossing was a big one.
Caribou Crossing, when I compared it, I called it Canada's Blanton's, and that has been a really big video. The Horse Soldier videos.
Horse Soldier was huge, yeah.
Very big. Some of the Whistle Pig special editions, and some of them that you wouldn't expect. And I don't just, for example, Michigan's own Fox and Odin.
Yeah,
It's a big video.
That was a big video, right? Yeah.
Combined, we have reviewed about 8 different Michigan distilleries. So there's a lot of local stuff we've done too.
Yeah. We just had a Detroit City Distilling, their master distillers at Charlie's just last week. We did a dinner with those guys. Like I said, we've had a lot of fun with this. The channel has grown from what we started with Don's camera and getting a guy to put it together for us, and it's gotten so big actually. The Booker's named a bourbon after me. We didn't want to talk about that. The Charlie's Batch Booker's is still available at Charlie's, and I think most of it is due to this video. Don?
Keep telling yourself that, Charlie. It may come true someday. It may. You know what? One quick story we'd like to tell you. We've now picked, 16 or 17 barrels.
Yes.
Somewhere right around there.
Yep.
Tell them about our very first bottle selection, our very first one.
So our very first bottle selection, we have lined up to go meet Chris Morris from Woodford. And lo and behold, a little thing called COVID comes along. And they come to me and they said, well, we can still do it, but you're going to do it virtually. And I kind of hem and hawed about it. And I asked Don and we weren't really doing much else because we were locked down. So we ended up doing a virtual barrel pick with Chris Morris. And it was one of the coolest things we've done. As weird as it sounds, we had samples, he had samples, we tasted them, he gave us input, we blended. It was a great experience. Yeah.
It was. And if there was one downside to the whole thing is the Brown-Forman rep was supposed to be recording the whole transaction, and then he trashed the recording. So we don't have any proof of it.
Yeah, that was supposed to be a video, and we got all permission from all the higher-ups, and then the guy blew it on the video. So, but it is what it is. But we have the memories of it. And yes, one of the coolest things, getting to know Don the Bourbon Fool for me, has been doing barrel picks. We've gone to Kentucky numerous times. we've got to pick a lot of great barrels. I might be biased, but I think we've picked some amazing barrels of whiskey, dude.
We have, especially that last Elijah too.
The last Elijah, the Luca Mariano is still one of my favorite. Francesco from Luca Mariano, another good friend of ours who found us off the internet and happens to be a local guy and came in, and he's got his own distillery now. But he's been to Charlie's numerous times, and and he's always brought Antonio Freeman, his brand ambassador, in.
Right.
We've done videos with them. It's just like I said, in my own opinion, it's gone way over above what I ever thought it could be, and that's mostly because of you, buddy. Thank you.
I appreciate that, but without the idea and the concept to start with, it probably would have never got off the ground. I'd still be writing just simple blog stories every week, and I'd have tons of extra hours. But
yes, you would. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But it's been great, and I was thinking about something, and I haven't clued you in on this ahead of time. But I think
it's usually my job to throw the surprises out.
I think one thing we need to do is we need to toast a couple. And if we did not toast this couple, I would be remiss, because if it wasn't for them, there's a chance I would have never walked into Charlie's. And it's to George and Carol, who came to one of my tastings in Commerce Township and said, "You've got to come see this restaurant in Milford." And I go, "There's a bourbon bar in Milford? I didn't even know." And they brought me in. I met Charlie 200 videos later.
Here we are, buddy. Yes, George Carroll, thank you so much for that. That's how we met. That's how it came about.
It is.
Yep.
And, I had to write a nice article about Charlie's to get his attention, but it worked.
It worked, absolutely. And, it's been a good partnership. It's been a good friendship for the last, 4 years now plus, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that first one was in 21. Now, here's something interesting. 200 videos.
Yeah.
253 total bottles.
Absolutely. And they're all crammed on a shelf at Charlie's. If you don't believe us, you can come check it out. So, as it works at Charlie's, we get a new bottle in, we don't put it on a shelf till we do a video. And the whole idea of this video is you at home can watch the video, see, hey, is this worth me checking out? Is this something I want to try? And when the video comes out, that's our whiskey of the week. So you can come in and try that whiskey at Charlie's. Once again, it's been a great 200 videos. We've had a lot of fun. We hope you've enjoyed some of it too. I want to personally thank Don for all the hard work he's done. Oh, I forgot to mention, in those 200 videos, we both became Kentucky Colonels.
So very interesting things happen, and those videos are probably a big reason why those happen.
Yes, we've been pretty blessed with the things that have happened in the last 200 videos, 4+ years of a partnership and a friendship. So once again, we just want to thank everybody for watching.
And ladies and gentlemen, in the comments, tell me what's the youngest bourbon we ever reviewed, because that's your homework for tonight.
Perfect. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you, Charlie.
What's new at Charlie's? What's new at Charlie's? Still on Main. What's new at Charlie's? Tell me what's new at Charlie's? Still on Main.